Okay, so today we're going deep on local SEO.
We are.
We're looking at the top 5 metrics you absolutely have to monitor during a 30-day campaign.
Absolutely.
And we're not just, talking theory here.
No.
We're going to bring in some hard data from Google themselves.
Uh-huh.
Some of their patents actually reveal how they track and adjust rankings for local businesses.
Yeah, we're peeking behind the curtain.
Like, these patent numbers might sound kind of boring, but trust me, they're fascinating.
They are.
US 2140180997A1.
Yes.
And US 2150339308A1.
You got it.
Now, these are like the blueprints to understanding what Google's looking for.
Exactly.
Now, if you're serious about local SEO, especially if you're trying to make a big impact in a short amount of time, like 30 days, this is the stuff you got to know.
It is.
So let's jump right in with the first metric. And this is one everyone's heard of, click-through rate, or CTR.
Yep.
Now, obviously, more clicks are good, but it's not just about the raw numbers, is it?
It's not.
There's more to it.
Absolutely. So CTR, it's like a vote of confidence from searchers.
Yeah.
They see your listing in the results and they choose yours over all the others.
Right.
And that sends a strong signal to Google like, hey, this is relevant. This is what people want.
Okay.
And that's where patent US 2150339308A1 comes in. This one's all about personalization.
Ah.
Google's getting really smart about tailoring results to individual users.
Okay.
So if people consistently click on your listing, Google takes notice and it's going to boost your rankings over time because you're satisfying those searchers.
Interesting. Okay, so CTR is all about relevance. It's showing Google that your listing is what people are actually looking for.
You got it.
All right, now let's move on to the second metric, engagement.
All right.
Now, this goes beyond just website visits, doesn't it?
It does.
We're talking phone calls, direction requests, even how long people spend on your site.
Yeah, engagement is all about action.
Okay.
It's those behaviors that show Google, hey, this business is actually valuable to searchers.
Okay.
And it's interesting. Patent US 2140180997A1. It talks about how Google specifically monitors local search results for these engagement signals.
Really?
Yeah, it's like they're watching to see what people do after they click on a listing.
Wow.
Do they call? Do they get directions? Do they spend time on the website?
Hmm.
All of that feeds into Google's algorithm, and the more engagement your listing generates, the higher it's likely to rank.
I see. So Google's not just looking at whether people click. They want to see if people are actually interacting with your business once they find you online.
Exactly. They want to make sure they're connecting searchers with businesses that actually meet their needs.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for metric number 3, and this one can be a little bit painful to talk about, bounce rate.
Yeah, nobody likes a high bounce rate.
But it's important to understand why it matters so much.
Absolutely.
So explain to me, like I'm 5 for sight, what exactly is bounce rate and why should we care?
Okay, so imagine you're searching for the best pizza in town, right?
Mm-hmm.
You click on the first listing you see, but it takes you to a website for pet grooming. Exactly. You're going to hit that back button faster than you can say pepperoni.
Right.
That's a bounce. You came to the site expecting one thing and you found something totally different. Now, Google pays very close attention to bounce rate.
Yeah.
A high bounce rate tells them that something's off. Either your listing isn't accurately describing your business,
Right.
or your website isn't providing the information people are looking for.
Okay.
Either way, it's a negative signal, and it can really hurt your rankings.
So basically a high bounce rate is like telling Google, hey, this listing is misleading. Don't show it to people.
Pretty much Google wants to connect people with the most relevant and useful results. So if your listing is sending people away disappointed, your rankings are going to suffer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked about CTR, engagement, and bounce rate.
Yeah.
Now let's tackle something that I think every business owner stresses about at some point. Ranking fluctuations.
Oh, yeah. Seeing those rankings jump around can be nerve-wracking.
It is.
But you know what? Fluctuations are actually more common than you might think.
Okay.
Especially in the early stages of a campaign.
Okay.
Google's constantly testing things out. They're trying to figure out the best position for your listing. So they might move you up a few spots, see how people react, then move you down a bit and see what happens.
Okay.
It's like they're A/B testing your listing in real time,
Wow.
trying to find the sweet spot where you're getting the most clicks and engagement.
Interesting.
So don't panic if you see some small dips.
Okay.
It's all part of the process. And those fluctuations can actually be a good sign that Google's paying attention to your listing and trying to find the best place for it.
So it's like Google saying, okay, let's experiment with this listing a little bit, see where it performs best.
Exactly. They're trying to create the best possible experience for searchers, and that means constantly refining the rankings.
Okay, that's actually reassuring to hear because I know I've definitely freaked out a few times when I've seen my rankings drop.
I hear you. It's natural to want to be at the top all the time, but sometimes those little dips can lead to bigger jumps in the long run.
Okay, so fluctuations are normal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't panic, focus on the long game.
Exactly.
All right, we're on to our final metric, keyword performance.
All right.
This is all about tracking the right keywords, the ones that are actually relevant to your business and have decent search volume.
Yeah, you could be ranking #1 for a keyword that nobody ever searches for.
Right. What's the point of that?
Exactly. You want to make sure you're targeting keywords that are going to bring in actual customers.
Okay.
And the cool thing about keyword performance is that it ties back to both CTR and engagement.
Ah, I see.
If you're ranking for keywords that people are actually searching for, you're more likely to get clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And if those keywords are highly relevant to your business, people are more likely to engage with your listing once they click through.
Right, so it all comes full circle.
It does.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about 5 crucial local SEO metrics: CTR engagement, bounce rate, ranking, fluctuations, and keyword performance.
Yeah.
Now, I know this might seem like a lot to keep track of,
Yeah.
especially if you're running your own business and you're already wearing a million hats.
I hear you. It can be overwhelming.
That's why systems like the GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge can be so valuable.
Absolutely.
It provides a structured approach to tracking and improving these metrics.
Yeah, you don't have to figure it all out on your own.
Right, it's like having a roadmap and a coach to guide you through the process.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, I think the big takeaway here is that these metrics aren't just numbers.
Yeah.
They're signals that tell Google how valuable your business is to searchers.
Yeah. Google's always trying to connect people with the best possible results.
Right, and by understanding these metrics and using a system like the GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge to optimize your strategy, you can make sure your business stands out from the crowd. All right, folks, that's our deep dive into the top 5 local SEO metrics to monitor during a 30-day campaign.
Hope you found it helpful.
Now, I'm curious, what's one metric you're going to focus on improving first? Let us know in the comments, and if you're ready to take your local SEO to the next level, definitely check out the GMB Crush 30 Days Ranking Challenge. It could be the game changer you need.
It could.
All right, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.